campaign over Libya has been the biggest test of the RAF's newest fast jet, the Typhoon. They're based much closer to the theatre of operations in southern Italy. James Hurst has been to see the planes almost 5 months into the operation and to meet the teams that keep them running.
The RAF Typhoon has come of age on Operation Alamy. 6 of the aircraft are currently stationed at Gioia del Colle, roughly a third of the UK's standing contribution of fast jets to this NATO-led operation. In less than 5 months, the Typhoons have flown more than 500 sorties, clocking up more than 2,300 hours in the skies above Libya.
I got more flying in the first 5 days that I was out here on deployment than I would normally in a month back in the UK.
Until now, the role of Britain's newest fleet of fast jets had been confined to patrolling the skies above the UK and the Falklands in an air defence role. They joined Operation Alamy from the start for the same sort of job, patrolling the no-fly zone above Libya. But soon after, they started carrying enhanced Paveway 2 guided bombs, for the first time operating in a ground attack role.
All the personnel that are out here, whether it's the operators, the pilots and the Wizzos, or whether it's the support staff and in particular the engineers, everyone's working extremely hard throughout the day and the night.
From here, it's pretty much down to one person, the pilot, to complete this mission. But to get to this point with the plane in the air and on its way takes an awful lot more people. The weapons technicians of 3 Squadron are just some of those who are currently key to the success of the Typhoon's mission.
Go for it. Yeah, that's good.
In the hours before each sortie, they load, check and double-check the missiles needed for air defence and the bombs that they hope will help demolish the Libyan government's military infrastructure.
It's an enhanced Paveway 2, which effectively is a £1,000 bomb with a guidance system strapped on and a modified tail unit. We effectively load it onto the aircraft, onto an ejection unit, clip it on, and then electrically connect it and load GPS and different connection points that fire different parts of the bomb as it's released from the aircraft. You make sure you check everything twice, if not 3 times, but yeah, we've been doing it plenty of times out here now, so we're all quite used to what we're doing.
Operation Alamy is the first time that the UK's Typhoons have struck in anger. Preparing for real ground strikes is new to these technicians, whose work goes right up to takeoff.
We see the pilots off at the end of the runway as a trade. We're the last to see the pilot off. Obviously back home, practicing professionalism of the RAF, and then as soon as we get out here, obviously it's the real thing. So to be doing that job, to seeing jets go off with 2-4 bombs loaded and come back with maybe who knows how many, but it's good to actually see the job being done professionally.
As well as the weapons, there's safety equipment to prepare, including the Typhoon's parachute, used on landing to slow the plane and reduce wear on the brakes.
Roughly we do 2 to 4 a day, maybe 2 a shift. So again, it takes about an hour each parachute. It's a strange one really, because we're not don't feel a part of it, but we do feel like we are doing something towards obviously the role that we're doing out there. Like I say, we get a lot of feedback from the air crew. So everybody's generally happy, and yeah, it's not too bad actually.
It's an extremely rewarding experience. Some of the operation flying that we're being involved in, well, first of all, it's very demanding and challenging from a piloting, a pure pilot perspective, handling perspective. But in terms of the results we're having on the ground with respect to protecting the Libyan civilians, it is extremely rewarding. We're all very proud and privileged to be taking part in it.
Everyone here speaks of the intense workload and the team effort to deliver. As the RAF is reshaped and reduced in size, the Typhoon is a key part of its future. So far, it's passing its first big test. James Hurst, Forces News, Gioia del Colle Air Base.
One of the RAF's most senior officers has also been in Gioia del Colle. James caught up with Air Commodore Waterfall when he was visiting British personnel last week. He asked him how the pilots' missions had changed since the strikes began in March.
The contribution has changed very, very markedly. The targets that we went against at the start were a certain type of target. Now, some months into the conflict, we're now in a position where we're going to go against other target sets. But it's all against the stated aim of really putting Libya in a place where the Libyan people can decide for themselves how they want to be governed, how they want to be led, and to stop the ceaseless and senseless taking of life by Gaddafi and his regime.
You reference it there. People have said it is a military contribution to something that's ultimately going to be a political solution. What's your sense from what's happening on the ground as to what progress is being made towards that political solution for the people of Libya?
There's a lot of progress being made. We see on a day-by-day basis uprising in towns all the way around Libya, and at the moment those uprisings numerically aren't strong enough to actually succeed, and the former regime and some of the tyrants within it quickly quash the regime, quash the uprising, and probably resulting in civilian deaths. There will be one day, and one day soon though, when those uprisings form a little bit of a tinderbox, and it's going to have a bit of I suppose, a bit like a bushfire effect. And already we see advances of FLF towards Tripoli, towards Litan from Misrata, and north from the Berber Highlands through Barri al Garam up to the coast there. And those are having real effect on the ground. It's restoring Libya to the rightful owners, its people, and it's making the leadership think once, think twice about continuing the conflict.
The mandate always was to protect civilians. How much of a contribution are people at Gioia del Colle still making to protecting Libyan civilians?
Oh, an absolutely immense contribution. The scale effort has probably doubled over the last month, in that we have taken and we've targeted some individuals that we know have been committing atrocities, we know have been going out and killing innocent civilians, and we just won't tolerate that. And we've gone out and deliberately targeted them, and an awful lot of places now in Libya are far safer places to live than they were before.